JBN, we keep you informed. Coming up in the news today, health worker dies weeks after being injured in St. Anne crash. Bullying crisis worsens in our schools. Restaurant operators shot dead in Montego Bay. Transport Authority dismisses reports of fare hike. PMP confirms Senator Crawford to run in Portland Eastern, and Roxroy Grandison killed in Manchester crash. Health worker dies weeks after being injured in St. Anne crash. A 52-year-old vector control inspector who was hospitalized with severe burns following a motor vehicle crash in Ochiraya, St. Anne last month has succumbed to his injuries. The deceased man has been identified as Hartley Green. He died at the University of the West Indies on Thursday after being admitted there in a serious condition. He, along with two workers attached to the Northeastern Regional Health Authority, were injured in a crash in the vicinity of Reynolds Pier, Ochiraya on Sunday, January 27. Police reports are that sometime after 5 a.m. the workers were traveling in the back of a pickup carrying out a fogging exercise in the area. Upon reaching the vicinity of Reynolds Pier, a motor vehicle slammed into the back of the pickup, throwing the men, including Green, to the ground. The fogging machine was also thrown from the vehicle and burst into flames. The three workers were assisted to the hospital where Green was admitted in serious condition with burns to some 80% of his body. Meanwhile, the other two injured workers were treated for minor injuries and later released. Green was employed to the Northeastern Regional Health Authority for over 25 years. It was not determined if the driver of the motor vehicle, which slammed into the back of the pickup that Green was traveling in, had been charged with any offense. Bullying crisis worsens in our schools. There are growing concerns that Jamaican school administrators are not doing enough to stem bullying within their walls, as dozens of parents whose children have been targeted say they are left helpless and confused. Parents have complained of their children being taunted, teased, and even gang beaten at primary schools. And one parent said her daughter tried to take her life by ingesting 51 tablets to escape being bullied about scoliosis. Tales of terror were being told at an anti-bullying sensitization workshop staged by the Child Protection and Family Services Agency last Wednesday and Thursday, reinforcing a 2015 UNICEF study showing that while 75% of bullied students reported to school authorities, only 34% found that this made any difference to their ordeal. The study is the main document driving an anti-bully action plan and sensitization campaign being spearheaded by the government. Let's start with the teachers in the classroom. They need to recognize the signs of a child that is not okay. Usually there are rumors. Once they pick up on that, they need to speak to the child or take the child to the guidance counselor, argued Geneva Robinson, whose 7-year-old daughter was bullied and gang beaten at a Kingston primary school. The bullying most times occurs in the classroom, and I think a lot of it is overlooked by the teacher who is present. Until teachers get more responsive to what these children are going through, children will always be at risk in our school, continued Robinson, who described her daughter as shy and soft-spoken. She said that for months she cried herself to sleep as her child suffered from depressing mood swings and a constant fear of going to school. She also wet her bed even as she kept her ordeal from her parents. At the time, all of that escaped me. I didn't know, neither did I know to respond even when I found out, said Robinson, adding that she reported the bullying to school administrators who failed to act. I was angry, but the overriding emotion was helplessness. How do I protect my child as there seems to be no recourse from the administration of these schools? She fumed. You move them from one school and then they go into another environment, and it is the same bullying situation, she said, noting that the bullying continued even after she moved her daughter to another primary school. The Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Floyd Green, launched the anti-bullying campaign in November last year against a backdrop of rising reports in schools. It is a real problem, and it's a problem that we don't speak a lot of, but it's a problem that more and more we're getting significant complaints about, Green said, bemoaning the devastating effects of bullying. Last week, Natalie Ferguson, Planning and Development Manager at the CPFSA, said school authorities are among the main targets of the campaign. Teachers, Ferguson said, are sometimes blamed for allowing bullying as they remain silent about incidents. We have been sensitizing the partners involved, and we also train teachers, guidance counselors, and so on to detect bullying and know how to treat with it, explained Ferguson, adding that there were caregivers from at least 27 ministries and agencies at the workshop. Stephanie Samuels, whose two children have been bullied at a high-ranking proprietary school in St. Andrew, said her 7-year-old daughter went through hell at the school, and now her younger brother is facing the same fate in grade 5 there. When she was in grade 2, there was a class that she had to pass, and for some reason the children there would pick on her, tease her, jeered her until the entire class started doing it to her, she said. The child would try to avoid going to school and hide while waiting to be picked up by her parents. She said it was her daughter's friend who told her about the bullying and that she received no satisfactory response after reporting the incidents to school authorities. It is a helpless, painful feeling because we want all our children to be vibrant and excited about life. And when you realize that someone, just one other person, can affect your child so badly, I cannot describe it any other way than helpless, she continued, adding that her young son is affected worse by the bullying than his sister. According to the UNICEF study, 9 out of 10 students have seen a child being bullied at school, and 6 in 10 students say they have been bullied at some point in their lives. The children listed the most common types of bullying as being teased and called names, being physically abused, having lies told on them, and being excluded and ignored. Restaurant operator shot dead in Montego Bay. 2 people were shot dead by an unknown assailant at the intersection of Top Road and Middle Road in Montego Bay, St. James on Friday, February 22nd. Dead are 49-year-old Assad Facey and 45-year-old Michelle Solomon, both of Norwood, St. James. Reports from the Montego Bay Hills Police are that about 4:25 p.m., Facey and Solomon, who both operate a restaurant, were at work when they were pounced upon by a lone gunman who opened fire, hitting them. They were taken to the hospital where they were pronounced dead. Transport Authority dismisses reports of fare hike. The Transport Authority is dismissing reports of a looming fare increase of public transport operators. The agency, which regulates the public transportation sector, said no decision has been made about a fare hike, as it is still in the process of conducting a review of the fare proposals received. In the meantime, the authority is reminding operators of public passenger vehicles (PPV) that they can now renew their road license for the 2019-2020 road licensing period, which commenced on February 18. It said operators may also have the compulsory examination of their vehicles done now under the Early Motor Vehicle Examination Facility. Under this facility, which began on January 25, 2019, licensees are not required to pay the motor vehicle examination fees upfront, as the fees will be collected upon submission of their applications for renewal of their road license, the agency said. It has warned that road license for owners of PPVs who fail to complete the renewal process by February-March 29 will become invalid on April 1. PMP confirmed Senator Crawford to run in Portland Eastern. University lecturer and businessman Damon Crawford will be unveiled officially as the Opposition People's National Party PMP candidate for Portland Eastern today. Crawford, the senator, got the nod long before the start of the service of Thanksgiving for the late Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. Linvale Bloomfield in Port Antonio. Dr. Bloomfield was found dead at his Passy Gardens home in Portland on February 2. He had been serving his second term as MP for the constituency, which the PMP has won 4 more times than the ruling Jamaica Labour Party JLP. Police have charged no one in relation to what has been deemed a murder. Crawford, the vice president of the party, was confirmed as the man last week after negotiations with the other shortlisted candidate, Dr. Donald Rudd, a former MP for the constituency, broke down. Yesterday, a high-ranking official of the party confirmed that Crawford was the one. Yes, Damon has been selected by the party to be its representative in Eastern Portland when the Prime Minister calls the election, stated the official who asked not to be identified by name. By Monday, the party will officially announce the decision made that Comrade Crawford is the man who will represent us, the official said. Crawford, who was elected MP for St. Andrew East Rural in 2011, did not contest the 2016 general election. The JLP has said that it will field Anne-Marie Vaz as its candidate. She is the wife of MP for Portland Western Darrell Vaz. There could be some trouble on the horizon for the PMP though, as Attorney-at-Law Andrea Moore signaled her intention to vie for the seat, but has been bypassed again following her victory over Dr. Bloomfield in a popular delegates vote months before the 2016 election. Moore, in an emailed communication last week, underlined their willingness to represent the PMP and vowed to begin the process of an internal campaign after Dr. Bloomfield's burial. But it is not clear how she will take the latest news. She represented the party in a losing effort in the St. Andrews West rural seat previously. The party source said that Dr. Rod, a three-time MP, who, among other things, had requested guaranteed financial support from the party for the build-up, would play a key role in the election campaign. Speculation is that Prime Minister Andrew Holness is likely to announce a date soon for the by-election to be held next month. Roxroy grandson killed in Manchester crash. One man lost his life following his involvement in a motor vehicle accident, which occurred along a section of Devon Road in the parish of Manchester on Friday, February 22nd. The dead man has been identified as 35-year-old Roxroy Grandison, a construction worker of Devon Road. Reports by the Christiana police are that about 9:30 p.m. on Friday, Grandison was driving a motor car along a section of Devon Road when he reportedly lost control of the vehicle. The vehicle hit an embankment and overturned, and Grandison sustained head and body injuries and was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.